Swell Simmers, my name is Darth Jeswick and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another base game renovation. Today we're going to be working on this house in Oasis Springs. It is a starter home, so I brought a sim here with us just to test it out and make sure that we stay on our budget. I love the color of the house, I just don't like all the weird platforms everywhere and the fact that there's literally nothing going on in the backyard except for the trash can. It's also just like awkward. Like we have this huge living room, but we only have like a 2-seater couch and a TV in there and like nothing else. It's just outdated, and we've got a lot of really cool stuff in The Sims now with all the updates that have happened recently, including new windows. So I want to include all that stuff in this updated version. One of the first things I did was try to fix this weird platform, and I was like, there's stairs here? I don't know if you know this, but if you have a one height platform like we do here, you don't need stairs. So it's just a waste of money. So that was one of the first things that I did to try and save us a little bit of extra money. I also kind of liked this whole red and white flooring here, but it also just reminded me a lot of Christmas. So I'm going to end up changing all of the floor tiles later on. So the first thing I did was change the wallpaper on the outside to a green paneling and a green like slate stone for the outside just to break it up a little bit. And then I also gave us a different shower than we had before, as well as a green toilet and sink, just because I think that's fun. We have a greenhouse, why not have the green plumbing? I don't know why. Eventually I'll add a sliding glass door in the bedroom to get out to the backyard, and then I'll like delete that weird big platform that we have going on there just to save us a little bit of money. I also added a pool just to see if we could afford it. We could not once I got done with my renovations, which is fine. I wasn't really expecting to be able to afford a huge pool on a starter home, or one at all for that matter. I also added a few of the like smaller lights just so that I could actually see in here, and change the floor tiles. I really like these new updated stone flooring. I think they updated that like maybe a year ago now. But I wanted to have like more space in the kitchen because there was only like a few counters before and it just looked really sad. So I wanted to add like some more space so that we could have like a proper bar in here, because we don't really have a lot of skill building stuff in the base game. Like we basically have bookshelves or workout equipment and like some telescopes. So there's really not much for your Sims to do in the base game. So I figured at least having a bar in here would give your Sims the mixology skill and they could bartend for a job. I don't know. Also, I'm going to put that one little wall back that they had there before just to kind of separate the kitchen from the living room a little bit more. Also put a few huge windows behind them just so that there's a little bit of natural light. And I actually didn't like this window in the kitchen as much as I thought I would, so I ended up deleting it and swapping it with some of the smaller windows that they had there before, and that's fine. I think it works better with a mid-century modern house. Not that I don't love this huge window, but it just didn't work. In the bathroom, I added some more accessories like a little rug and like the toilet paper and a little towel rack, as well as some curtains just so that nobody can peek when they're sitting out in the backyard. And eventually I will get rid of the pool. I just haven't run out of money yet when I'm like building. I was really busy like fussing with all the stuff in the yard and trying to figure out if I wanted to even have that back patio. I ended up just deleting it and making a like step down backyard, which is fine. I like that a little bit better. And it was also a lot cheaper to not have the platform there because platforms need the tile and tile costs money, which is not something that we always have when we're doing starter homes. But I at least got blinds up in the bedroom so that we have some privacy when we're sleeping. Also using the new subway tile that they had to the base game just like a couple weeks ago, I think. I love this color. I've been using it in a lot of my other builds too. Like it's in my Not So Berry challenge save, and I love it. Cannot express that how much I love this subway tile from the base game. It's great. Also wanted to use this tall fencing where your Sim's bedroom is, just so they have a little bit more privacy. And then I tried to use it in the backyard, but I didn't really love it as much. And I ended up swapping it out with a like lower stone wall, just so your Sims could have more of a view in their backyard. I also added in a few planters pots just so your sim could garden under the eave. And I also added like the little spandrels because they didn't have them before. And I think that that's so weird. It's like makes your build complete. Anyway, added a full-size dining room table out here so that your sims could barbecue. And I honestly have never used this barbecue like as much as I have recently. I love it. I would love a barbecue like this because they're so cool looking. Like I want to be able to use like real wood in my barbecue, and I think that's what this does because it's more like a clay oven, I think. I'm not really sure, but it looks really cool and I love it, and I love to use it in Oasis Springs. So we're moving on to some of the landscaping now. I've got some palm trees in here and some like eucalyptuses and succulents, as well as some cactuses, you know, basic desert landscaping here. But they really didn't have it before. They had like some grass and like the little daisies, and I don't know, it works, but it also is just like kind of like meh landscaping. So I did a little bit more. I made sure that I actually had enough money for the landscaping here because I had a vision. And like normally I don't really like doing landscaping, but I wanted to make sure that some of the palm trees were kind of blocking the view from your window into your living room. And then we also had like the rocks and things too because they didn't have much before. I don't even think they had rocks. I'm not even sure if they had terrain paint, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I just added a few of like patches of like the grass with the little flowers underneath of it, the desert style terrain paint. I really don't know what it's called. I can't remember. I did end up making the backyard just a little bit smaller so that I could add some more decorations and activities in here. And I ended up being able to fit a dartboard in here, which I think is really cool because I've never really used it in builds, especially in base game stuff, just because I don't really think about it. And every time I see the dartboard, I always think that it's from the Get Together pack, and it's not. Since we had that one from the event from a couple of years, no, not a couple of years ago, not, like last year, I think. I'm not really sure. I really don't remember. There's so many events now. Also just swapped it again from that like slate stone to just a smooth terracotta stone. I like that more. It just matches the paneling a little bit better. And if you made it this far in the video, there will be a cinematic tour at the end, just because I know it's hard to see when I'm moving around this fast. But that is all I have for this speed build. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop it a like down below, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Dag dag!